Hey guys, what's going on? This is Nasar, aka the real estate guru. I'm not your guru, I'm the guru because I actually do this business. Today, we are starting a 9-part series of how to wholesale houses for beginners. Okay, so I get DM'd this question on IG a lot, my Facebook group a lot. So I'm just break this down step by step with this series. So what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is essentially if I find a property at a deep discount, I assign that property to a cash buyer, an investor who has cash for a profit, right? So I'm going to give you a clear example. So let's say someone inherits a house and they need to get rid of the house. The house is falling apart. The city is getting on them. And they said, hey, look, this house has been a headache. We tried to list with the realtor, but it didn't sell. So they said, hey, you give me $40,000 for this property and it's yours. Now, you know the property is worth $100,000. So you say, hey, the house needs some work, but I think $40,000 is a good deal. So you sign a contract with the seller for $40,000. You then go market that contract to an end buyer. And by you marketing that contract to the end buyer, which is essentially a cash buyer, aka an investor, and let's say he says, hey, I'll give you $50,000 for that particular property. And for him giving you $50,000, you get a deposit for him. You send the contract and assignment to the attorney's office or the title company, whatever you use in your state. And at that particular point, the attorney or title company will do the title search. Once they do the title search and the title is clean, you will then close. The buyer will wire in the $50,000 plus closing costs, and you will pick up a check for $10,000. The seller gets $40,000. It's simple, but it's not easy. So let's break it down how we get in front of a motivated seller. A motivated seller is someone who needs to sell and doesn't want to sell, but they need to sell, okay? We're not looking for houses on sale, we're looking for houses for sale. The majority of the market can go list their house with the realtor, and that's great. However, there's a small segment of the market who have problems that need to be solved, and they can't list their house with a realtor due to the issues that they have going on. Okay, so therefore, what I would like for you to do is, I want you to start driving for dollars, okay? And in the midst of driving for dollars, you're gonna look for houses with tall grass, boarded up, beat up roofs, houses with a mailbox full, and the house is just raggedy, toe up from the floor up. You know, you guys get the idea of what you'll be looking for. You can find these houses at any price point. And what I want you to do, I want you to write down the address to these properties, okay? On just pen and paper is what you need. Write down the addresses, okay? And ideally, if you can stay out there 2, 3, 4 hours, that will be perfect, okay? Now, after you got these addresses, what do you do next? You're going to look up the property owner, all right? So what I would do, I would spend one day accumulating addresses. The next day, I would spend looking up the property addresses. And then from whatever your tax lookup site is, whatever it is where you're at or located at, they'll have the property address and the mailing address. And I will mail the owner. You want to focus on the mailing address and say, hey, I'm interested in your property at 123 Main Street. Please call, sincerely, whatever your name is. It's literally that simple. You can buy pre-stamped postcards from USPS.com. Okay, and then after I look up the owner, I'm writing out these pre-stamped postcards. Very tedious. But if you don't want to deal with that and you want something a lot simpler, please download the Deal Machine app, okay? The Deal Machine app will eliminate all those steps of you have to order postcards and write things out. And if you do that, please use the promo code RealEstateGuru for your free trial. Also, you can go to durudriving.com as well, okay? Now, from that app, you can send out the postcards, You can skip trace them and get their phone number. And it's just a lot simpler than have to spend 4 and 5 hours writing out postcards and researching addresses. Okay. Now from there, all right, I want you to do that. Once we accumulate the addresses, I just want to take the step by step, right? In Deal Machine, what happens is you can store the addresses there. You know, this is for beginners. I apologize for my my advanced users, but this video is for beginners. So let's just stop there and accumulate addresses from there. And before I head out, I want to leave you with this, okay? This is how I started out. This is no fluff involved. I started out driving for dollars in 2011. This is how I got my first deal. It took me 8 months to get my first deal, but the sacrifice I made was well worth it. It started off with a $2,000 wholesale deal to today I have a 7-figure real estate business. So please, whatever you do, don't give up and join us next week. But before I head out, right, make sure you join my Facebook group, Wholesaling with the Guru, where you have access to me and I'll answer your questions. Follow me on Instagram at Real Estate Guru, and be sure to download the Deal Machine app at durudriving.com. Next week, we will continue this series. Until next time, I wish you much success in your life and in your business. Peace.